So by the time they fix the computer, I'd like to thank BCCI for inviting me over here. For the last few months, I've been visiting various forums, MCCI, EPCCI, and today the BCCI, to talk about this Industry 4.0 and its importance in, for the MSME sector. Thing is that to understand Industry 4.0 in 5 minutes' time is very difficult, and at the same time it will be difficult for me to convince you. But I would like to touch upon some of the important aspects and then quickly finish within 8 to 10 minutes' time. We all know that before I talk about this, the evolution of the manufacturing, I would like to ensure that I'm not going to teach manufacturing over here. So don't get scared. So from the very first day till today, the industrial revolution, today we are standing on the 4th industrial revolution. Every time we talk about the reduction of the cost, increase in productivity, and the last two things are very, very important, is that high precision and to ensure quality. These two things are very, very important, and for that, the Industry 4.0 implementation or adoption is very much important. Industry 4.0 talks about the sensor integration. So from any process or any manufacturing, the product, while manufacturing it, you get to know about a lot of information. So how to make use of the data during its process, that's one of the aspects of the Industry 4.0, which basically helps you in, for helping you in the prediction, in optimization, taking decision and control, and also producing the smart products. So these are the, the pillars of the Industry 4.0. Now, just 13 years back, these products, starting from iPhone, iPad, Kindle, 4G, Uber, Airbnb, Android, Instagram, and WhatsApp, these things were not there. Today, all of us are using, these avenues, and we know what are the importance of that. If you see the telephone got invented in 1874, and it took 75 years to reach to 100 million customers. Wave got invented in 1980. It took only 7 years to reach to 100 million customers. Facebook, 4 years. Instagram, 2 years. So over this, if you go by the x-axis, that means as time progresses, the adoption of the digital technologies, is increasing at a very fast rate. And Pokemon Go, just in 1 month. So that means as we are progressing over the time and the new technologies are coming up, our adoption rate is very, very high. That's why the message is, Industry 4.0 message for the MSME, for the industries is that Samay ke saath chalo. That means you need to implement or adopt the methodologies or the technologies of the Industry 4.0. So industry, when you talk about the Industry 4.0, obviously the common question comes into mind, what is Industry 1.0? Industry 1.0 started with the evolution or the invention of the steam power. That is the mechanization. When electricity came into picture, it helps in mass production. So that's called the Industry 2.0. So Industry 1.0, something around 1780 in that period, close to 100 years or 90 to 100 years, the Industry 2.0 came. Again 100 years, the Industry 3.0, that is the adoption of the robotics and the computers. And today, from 2014, we are standing, or we have started a new era, which is called the Industry 4.0, because of these cyber physical systems, because of this Internet of Things and the networking. These avenues, cyber physical systems, Internet of Things, or the networks of the, the various assets, help us a lot. So quickly, I'd like to, talk about this, the various the modules of this Industry 4.0. When you talk about the Industry 4.0, is basically an umbrella. Under this umbrella, all these modules are there. So if someone prescribes that this particular MSME has to adopt, the Industry 4.0, that means depending on his or her need, these modules can be chosen and implemented. So Industry 4.0 is a confluence of trends and methodologies that has got the potential to reshape the things, getting manufactured. So it has got, the lots of importance. The major target is the manufacturing process automation, building digital twins. That means the digital versions of the physical assets. You know how long the product will survive. You know that what is going on in the manufacturing process. So that comes up, in the domain of the digital twins. And all these digital twins are getting developed from the data which we collect, by using the sensors during the process development. So why should India invest in Industry 4.0? It is because that, that today we are producing a lot of goods and we are taking the leading positions. The world market is also, undergoing lots of changes. And because of this change, you must think of the new technologies. And in order to adopt the new technologies, you have to think for this, the knowledge or the background. So India has got the potential because it has got the huge demand. It has got a good policy. The investments is also increasing. And it has got the competitive advantage. So in order to reach, since morning people are talking about the reaching to $5 trillion economy. Today we are standing 18 and 19 financial year, we are just 2.8 trillion USD, just slightly above the half of the requirement. And if you want to if you want to double it up, then the only way is to energize the MSME. Because MSME, they are the silent, the performers. They are the engines for the economic growth of any country. This slide I'd like to skip because already people have talked about that. But what is the biggest challenge before this, the MSME for adoption of the Industry 4.0? The biggest challenge is the skill development. The modules which I mentioned, starting from the big data to cloud computing to the additive manufacturing, 3D printing, robotics, all these things require the specific, the knowledge. If you would like to apply those things, then obviously you need to develop your skill. And the MSME is getting hampered because of this adoption of the low adaptability of these new technologies. And there is no effective market strategies. Inadequate the credit assistance, the topic has already been discussed in the morning, and the lack of guidance in research and innovations. The last point where the academic institutes or the research organizations play an important role. And I would like to just talk about all this, the last points, briefly, so that the MSMEs can come forward and work with the academic institutes or get the support or the assistance from the academic institutes. We all know that we are not very much ready to adopt this Industry 4.0. This particular graph shows that, out of 10,000 employees, only 3 are the robots getting used in the automobile industries in India, where India automobile, the mission plan is that we would like to be amongst the top 3 automobile manufacturers by 2026. And if you compare with the South Korea, it has got the 631 the robots per 10,000 the employees, whereas India is only 3. That means there is a huge scope of automation. And this would be possible, effective utilization of this automation will be possible if we develop our skill. So the bottlenecks, as I mentioned, the lack of the skilled workforce. Unless we adopt this technology, that will be the polarizations of the labor. That means there will be the highly skilled laborers and very low skilled laborers. So what, the academic institutes, I'm just skipping some of the slides because the time constraint. What academic institute like IIT Kharagpur is doing for the MSMEs? We are very much comfortable in teaching undergraduate students, guiding postgraduates and doctoral scholars. But today we have started thinking for the working for the industry, specifically for the MSMEs, to give training, to upscale their the knowledge on digital technologies. For that, we have developed a center of excellence in advanced manufacturing technology, and this is purely the industry focused. Here we have created the ecosystem. Since morning people are talking about there should be the ecosystem between the academic institute, large, the organizations, MSMEs, and also the research organizations. Here is the platform. What we have done is that we have created the consortium of industries where 4 Tata Group members are there, 2 public sectors are there, and also the startup in West Bengal who are interested to work with us on Industry 4.0. So with the strong support of the Ministry of Heavy Industries and Public Enterprises, and with the help of the public and private sectors, and then the startups, we have developed this, the consortium-based research organizations, where WMG Warwick Manufacturing Group is our international research advisor. What are we doing? We are trying to inculcate the modern technologies, that is the Internet of Things, the connected manufacturing through digital interventions. All these things are in the process of developing the products so that we can add value to it. Products can be made much, the smarter, process can be much more, the transparent, so that you get to know what's happening, and for that, the effective utilization of the assets can be done. And in addition to that, we are giving training to the industry people. We know that the MSMEs are in real stake. They don't have the proper knowledge. So we are giving training to MSME people and then in other working professionals on various concepts like the computer numerical control, CNC, the machines. We are also coming up with the training program on industrial robots and other things. So there are different modes through which you can be associated with IIT Kharagpur, the various industries. There will be the core partnership, associate partnership, or the affiliate partners. Presently, 7 industries are there. A lot more industries are also inquiring, so very soon they will be joining with our consortium. We are working on 4 research verticals: specialty materials, additive manufacturing, design and automation, and digital, the industrial Internet of Things, or the Industry 4.0. So here is this, the ecosystems. What we are doing is that we are getting the problem from the big industries. We are working, our faculty colleagues are working with the industry's experts for solving their respective problems. We are also bringing the SMEs on board so that SMEs get to know what is happening in the big industries, and their knowledge is getting transferred, or they are getting trained from the IIT. So in this way, the big system, big industries, small industries are coming into picture. We are working with the other research organization. You might have heard the name of the WMG Warwick Manufacturing Group in the UK. So we are working with them to give these solutions to the industries. So this is our technical, the support. In addition to that, as I mentioned, we are giving training on a regular basis to the startup, the MSMEs, ITI, and the diploma, the students. I do not want to go into details of what are the exact problems we are going to do. So my request is that, if the MSMEs need any technical help, they can come forward to IIT Kharagpur. We are ready for them. And apart from the technical help, if they would like to get something measured, some testing is to be done, some characterization of any product is to be made. So all these facilities can be, are already available to, the various, the candidates. So they can very easily access to that. So our infrastructure is really the state of the art. It is of the industrial scale. Generally, the academic institutes, the facilities are at the lab scale, but here our facilities are all industrial scale. So that means we are crossing the technology readiness level beyond 3. We are standing at the valley of the death where upscaling is getting done. So these are all facilities of the Center of Excellence in Advanced Manufacturing Technologies. This is the upcoming facilities of the various types of industrial robots, where people can get to know how robot-to-robot collaboration can be done, how the process is getting done, what is the quality, what is the health of the individual robots. So our strength is the state-of-the-art infrastructures. Our strength is the consortium-based research. Our strength is that expert faculties. Our strength is that the research collaborations with outside world. So upcoming training programs are on CNC. So if anyone is interested to take training on CNC, they can log into IIT Kharagpur website. I'm just giving an example. Just last month, we have completed the second phase of this training on the CNC, and the people are from, some of the people are from having only the commerce background, become no technology technical, the knowledge. At the end of 5 days, now they can write the complete code for, the CNC machine operation, and they are producing jobs. So that means they are ready to be, adopted by the industry. We are also going to float various types of short-term courses which are industry aligned. So this is our last, the training program where, the employees from the Tata Steel participated, and since because of this adoption of the digital technologies, very soon you'll find the females are working on the shop floor. This is the first training programs. We have organized the short-term courses and the workshop by the industry professionals. So MSMEs can approach for their, even if they are interested for the research, the requirements. So as I mentioned that, we are not only in the fundamental level, that is the technology, TRL, technology readiness level 1, 2, 3. We are now standing in the catapulting zone, that upscaling zone, which is the TRL level 4 or 5. So this, the adoption of this industry 4.0 by the MSMEs or the large industries, the industry academia collaboration is a must. So this is our upcoming the Industrial Research and Innovation Unit, 40,000 square feet at IIT Kharagpur. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dr. Pal. It is really insightful, this presentation. I hope a lot of our MSME fraternity will take advantage of this facility from IIT KGP. We will be definitely, Tata Steel will be also get in touch with them to help the MSME. We do a lot of things. Recently also we have conducted with IIT Mumbai similar sessions. So may I request Mr. Sanjay Guha, industry leader for manufacturing, metal and mining, to address the gathering.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you, Mr. Behera. And thank you, Dr. Pal. That was a brilliant session. My name is Sanjay Guha Thakurta. I represent IBM. I lead the manufacturing and metals and mining segment in India. A lot of the topics which have been presented already, Dr. Pal, is common. So I'll like to skip most of them. To start with Industry 4.0. Industry 4.0, as Professor Pal already mentioned, I'll quickly run over this slide, has been through multiple steps. So we had Industry 1.0 to 2.0, which all started 200 years back. And as we went on, what are these 1.0 and 2.0? Initially, we had the quick change of production technologies across the world, which is actually the birth of the Industrial Revolution. Then we moved on. During the birth, it led to machines, and the world actually saw an explosion of production. Then it graduated to the next level, which we termed as the Industry 2.0. This saw the adoption of electricity in production lines, which also saw the emergence of automobile industry, which led to a huge car production. At the third level, during the 70s, we saw that the emergence of information technology, computers, etc., being brought to at the industry level, the manufacturing level. And that was a different kind of explosion and productivity. Now, from the mid-2000s, the infusion of information technology in various aspects in manufacturing, this is being labeled as the Industry 4.0. I wouldn't go deeper. Professor Paul has already covered in quite depth, but that is I wanted to give an introduction of what is Industry 4.0. So what is the issue? The issue is not the technology. So technology is never a problem. The discussion point today across the world is what to do with technology. As we see, as you see, ladies and gentlemen, in my back, this is a picture of a mine. And in a simple mine, there are trillions of bytes of data that is being generated every moment. We all understand how. The mines are integrated nowadays, and this also applies not only to a mine, but also in the manufacturing sector. There is the use of analytics, there is the use of social media, security, even blockchain, cloud. The explosion of data everywhere is huge. So what do we do with it is the question. The challenges that manufacturing industry today faces are automation. Automation has always been there, but it has graduated to a different level nowadays. The expectation from our customers, the customers from the manufacturing industry is immense. Also, there is an issue of aging workforce. Workforce who have held the knowledge, the key knowledge between manufacturing. People are retiring in masses, so how do we replace them? There's also always this issue of faster deployment. How do we make sure that products are made available to the end customer in a much shorter period of time? So, similar thing, but in a different aspect. On the right side of the slide, you will find the different Industry 4.0 offerings, if I may say, that addresses these different problems and what actually comprises of this Industry 4.0. It's a buzzword nowadays. So you see the different aspects of cybersecurity, Internet of Things, IoT. There is augmented reality and virtual reality being used at shop floors, in construction industry as well. There is obviously the cloud computing. So I wouldn't go deeper. We are running short of time, as we see. I will touch upon a few solutions and what exactly are we creating out of this Industry 4.0. The audience here is mostly from manufacturing industry. There are a lot of MSMEs. I was there with all of you yesterday as well in the other building, and I was patiently trying to understand the different problems and the different solutions most of you are already creating right here in Calcutta, in Howrah. And it is quite amazing to hear the breadth of the solutions that you are already experiencing. As we all know, the 40% of India's exports are coming from the small and medium in this particular segment. So, before I go to the solution, factory of the future, you can easily Google and try to find out. This is probably a futuristic concept where everything in a factory will be automated. Every aspect, every point of data will be captured and analyzed, and there would be predictive analysis. Prediction with accuracy will be given back to the factory, and decisions would be taken. That is the whole summary of, or I would say the end-to-end story of how factory of the future works. But as I was mentioning, to talk about the most of the solutions, the most of the happening solutions that exist in the world. Yes, we are addressing the Calcutta crowd here, but I am fortunate, I think I'm fortunate to work with many of the global clients which I see, and I wanted to share some of the experiences which I have gathered, which I believe